Hi, good to see you again. Welcome to Block 1, Constructing, Measuring, and Using Geometric Notation, Lesson 11. I'll share my screen. So, in your previous lesson, you learned how to recognize different quadrilaterals and their properties. In fact, you learned that a square is actually a special rectangle. In today's lesson, you're going to learn to identify polygons up to a decagon. So you're going to know what these words mean. You may have heard them before in primary school, but by all means, this is to help you recall if you're learning this again. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with those you think can benefit, and click on the notification bell so that when new videos are uploaded, you will be notified. Before we start the new learning, I would like you to pause video and answer the retrieval practice questions in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the retrieval practice questions, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So for the first one, you were asked, what do the hatch marks indicate on the diagram? So the hatch marks that you can see on the line segments, it shows that they are of the same length. And then the arrows indicate that those are parallel lines. And then those small squares indicate on the diagram that the angles are 90 degrees. Let's do our new learning for today. I want you to think about this carefully. Which is the odd one out? Well, the odd one out is the circle. You can see that every other shape has straight edges or straight sides, but the circle has round sides. 2D shapes with straight sides are called polygons. So, except for the circle, these shapes you see here are all polygons. Let's now talk about some polygons that you should be aware of. Some of the polygons you should be aware of are a triangle. So, a triangle has 3 sides. 4 sides are called quadrilaterals, and we have different types of quadrilaterals. We have parallelogram, we have trapezium, we have square, we have rectangle, and we even have rhombus, which some people call diamond. We also have pentagon, 5 sides. So whatever shapes that have 5 sides are called pentagons. We also have hexagon. Hexagon is the name for shape with 6 sides. We have heptagon, 7 sides. Octagon, 8 sides. And nonagon, 9 sides. And decagon, 10 sides. Can you think of words that might help you to remember some of the names of these polygons? Well, the one I remember really quickly is octopus. So octopus helps me remember octagon because I know that octopus has 8 legs. So octagon would have 8 sides. But when we look at pentagon has to do with decagon has to do with decimal, and decimal, our decimal system. When we say decimal system, it means we can count in tens. We have 10 digits, which make our decimal system 0 to 9. So 10 means decagon or decathlon. So decathlon, if you watch the Olympics, are people or athletes who do 10 events. Pentathlon are athletes who do 5 events. Heptathlon are athletes who do 7 events. Okay? All right. Let's now pause. I want you to pause the video and use the knowledge you have acquired in this lesson to answer these questions. So pause the video and answer question 1 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered question 1, here are the answers. So here you can see you were asked that here are some shapes, tick the polygons. Remember what we said polygons are? Polygons are 2D shapes that have straight sides. Next, you were asked, for each of the shapes you have not ticked, discuss with your partner why they are not polygons. They don't have straight sides, or the shapes are not closed. So they must have straight sides and the shapes must be closed. So this triangle here is definitely not a polygon. It's not closed. And then you were asked to write a definition of a polygon in your own words. Okay. The definition of a polygon, you can see it right there. You can have various answers, but one of them is it must have straight sides and it should be closed. Pause the video and answer question 2 in 1 minute. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the question, here are the answers. So you were simply asked to match the shapes, the names of the shape to the number of sides, okay? And you should, become conversant with the numbers, get to really know the numbers associated with the names. Pause the video and answer question 3 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the questions, here are the answers. So here you were asked to write the name of each polygon. So the names of the polygons, you can see them there: rectangle, triangle, pentagon, octagon, heptagon, and hexagon. Pause video and answer question 4 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered question 4, here are the answers. So here you can see that you can draw different shapes, the ones that have 7 sides, 8 sides, so on and so forth. Pause video and answer question 5 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered question 5, here are the answers. So here you were asked, ABCDEF is a regular hexagon. GHIJKL is an irregular hexagon. What is the same and what is different about the hexagon? And then write your own definition of a regular hexagon. Well, a regular hexagon must have all the sides to be equal and the angles, the interior angles must be equal. Okay. Of course, the exterior angles as well. Yeah. Okay. Let's do some new learning. Have you noticed something about this shape? It's a regular pentagon. So remember from this exercise, the last question you did, a regular polygon would have equal sides and equal angles. So this is a regular pentagon. So once you know the names and you see that polygon, so you now know the names of the different polygons. If you see those polygons that have equal sides and equal angles, you add regular to the name that you want to call them. But what would you say about this one? Why would you say that these are irregular? Well, you can see that this one has these sides to be equal, but these sides are equal. So all the sides are not equal for that shape, and the angles are not equal. What about this one? It has all sides to be equal, but the angles are not equal. So for example, if you compare angle X and Y, you would see that they are not equal. Here is another example for you to think about. Teddy draws an octagon on squared paper, and here is what he says. This is a regular octagon because each edge has a length of 1 square. Do you think he's right? Well, let's investigate. If we take a ruler and we measure one side, we'll see that that is 1 centimeter. But if we measure that side, we'll see that that is more than 1 centimeter. So Teddy is wrong. If it were a regular octagon, all the sides would be equal and the angles will be equal as well. It's now time for you to pause the video and answer questions 6 and 7 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered questions 6 and 7, here are the answers. So for question 6, you were asked, a rhombus is a regular. So she says a rhombus is a regular quadrilateral because all of the side lengths are equal. Do you agree with Anne? Of course, no. All of the side lengths in a rhombus are not equal. Okay? All of the side lengths are equal. Yes, in a rhombus. Remember, a rhombus is a pushed over square that's just been squashed. But what you would notice is that the angles are not equal. All right? So you have some of the angles, all right, won't be equal. Next, question 7. Tick the polygons that are regular. So you can see the polygons that are regular. The angles are equal and the sides are equal. For question 8, here Mo says a pentagon has 5 sides. So if I join 2 regular pentagons together, I will make a regular decagon. Well, that would be for you to investigate, but that wouldn't be right. All right. So you can investigate that by, using a squared paper to draw regular pentagons. Try to put them together and see whether you would form a regular decagon. So Mo is not right. And that brings us to the end of our lesson. So in this lesson, you have learned about polygons up to decagon. Okay. And you have also learned that's a very important thing you must know. A regular polygon must have equal sides and equal angles. Until next time, take really good care of yourself. Bye-bye.